Exactly. Exactly. She already knows what's up right now. Exactly.
I recently, or like a couple of months ago, maybe like 5 months ago, I made a video titled My Spiritual Journey, something like that. That period of my life, I was really into spirituality, like manifestation, moon water, like a very new aged spirituality, which really, I really was into it. Like, I really enjoyed just the idea that I had the power to control the types of energy that came into my life. I was able to control, whether or not I could, whether or not money would come into my life. The idea of manifestation for any spiritual newbies is that with the correct thinking and the correct mindset, whether it's through scripting or just thinking, your scripting being like you writing down the things that you want or that you are, like, I am this, I am that, like, say if you want to get a Tesla eventually. Okay, say if your dream life was you owned a Tesla, you live in a $100,000 house. That's unrealistic, but yes. And you have a nice lawn for your 4 dogs. You're gonna write, I am a homeowner of a beautiful $100,000 home, and there's a lawn for my 4 dogs, a beautiful lawn, and I'm driving to work in my Tesla every day. Like, that's the idea of manifesting through scripting. And you can just manifest by thinking those things, which I guess I like the idea of manifestation as far as personality wise. Like, I am confident, I am someone who can problem solve. I'm like, saying things that you hope to be in the future. I think that's good. I think it really reinforces. It's a word in like literally something in psychology that people recommend. But I think it challenges those limiting beliefs you have about yourself, so that you eventually do become somebody that is a problem solver. Oh, it's this idea of cognitive dissonance. That's what it is. So if I'm constantly telling myself I am a problem solver, I enjoy the small things in life. If I constantly tell myself that and I'm doing things that are the opposite of what I'm telling myself I am, the cognitive dissonance is going to be it's going to cause so much stress that I'm going to kind of inadvertently do things to reinforce this belief. With cognitive dissonance, you either got to change the belief or you got to change the actions, one or the other. And with manifestation, you're not changing the belief. You're like, I am this. Like, you strongly believe I am this. So eventually you become that because your actions are going to be that. Because of the cognitive dissonance, you're not going to want to just continuously feel that, or it's going to cause disarray. It's going to cause you to feel like miserable. And maybe for me, there was a little bit of that because I was aiming for these things that I don't genuinely believe I wanted or cared about, or maybe I was impatient about it. I don't know. But manifestation wasn't the only thing that I was drawn to about the new age spirituality. I also liked the ideas about the moon and how it can have magical powers and stuff, like oh, the moon could give to you something. And I still feel like I still kind of humanize the moon a little bit. Think of it as this, like, maybe not humanize, but I still look at the moon as this like magical thing. But I also know that it, like, scientifically isn't. It's just, it is what it is. And the moon doesn't really influence your mood or anything like that. You know, but there's still something about the moon that's just very beautiful to look at. I think it's more aesthetic driven versus I believe the moon has the power to do things. Like if you sit and do a ritual during the full moon, you could invite something into your life. Like you could invite abundance into your, like, I don't believe that anymore. I think that is not backed by anything. So and maybe I was going through a spiritual psychosis. Maybe I was. Who knows? I just was very into the spiritual thing and, or the spirit, like a lot of spiritual ideas. I'm trying to like remember some of them. But really it all was just to kind of know myself more. The reason why I went into the spiritual journey, I wasn't trying to like get anything materialistic, really. But I was trying to force myself to become a better person, or to become the person I want to be through spirituality, through these other things, through like, you know, burning Palo Santo, which I understand is like a native tradition too. And that's another thing about New Age spirituality. It can be very superficial. You can do things without really knowing why you're doing them or really feeling the connection between what you're doing and yourself. So maybe I was just doing spirituality wrong. I'm not here to like dispel spirituality as a practice as far as like New Age spirituality goes. I think if you're really intentional, spirituality can give to you something that is long lasting. But I really do think like it wasn't for me. And I was trying to make it for me because I felt so lost and I just needed something to believe in and feel in control of, which I'm realizing through just learning about, oh, my wrist. I took, where's my brace? Why did I take my brace off? Okay, whatever. Yeah, I just feel like through spirituality, I was trying to like feign control of my life. And it wasn't until I started to reconnect with my interest in Buddhism, which I've always had an interest in Buddhist teachings and philosophies and stories. When I was a kid, I went to this Tibetan Buddhist shop, and ever since then, I kind of, you know, even when I wasn't thinking about Buddhism, I kind of felt it in the back of my mind. I don't know how to explain it, but I think it's been a common thread in my life. And Buddhism speaks to me more so than New Age spirituality. I will say I identify as someone who's atheist, which I guess me wanting to follow Buddhist teachings might seem contradictory to that. But I think there's this very naturalistic manner. I feel like there's naturalistic ideals in Buddhism. Like for me, it seems more like a philosophy versus a religion. But there are people within Buddhism that are more religious in their practice. It's kind of, there's so many different sects, and I'm not very, like, I enjoy Buddhist teachings, but I'm more like an armchair Buddhist. You know what is that the word for it? I don't know shit. I am a beginner in Buddhist teachings. It's something that as an adult now, I want to learn more. I want to really practice. I've been meditating and just trying to get connected with this idea of self and just the idea of like living a life that's aligned with the I think it's the eightfold, I might be mixed in terms of eightfold noble path, or just this idea of like right speech, right action, right intention, right beliefs. I don't know. I can't name them all off my top of my head, but I'll insert it here. I just think that Buddhist philosophy speaks to me more. Just sitting and breathing and really just being still has taught me more than my journey within the New Age spirituality. I felt like for me it was just a distraction to distract away from the fact that I'm really hurting inside, and I can't run away from that. Like, I just gotta sit with the hurt in order for it to lessen, or not even to lessen, just for me to be okay with the fact that, yeah, sometimes I'm not gonna feel the best. Sometimes I'm gonna get depressed. Sometimes life isn't going to be just all positive. I'm gonna go through stuff, and I don't need to figure it out all the time. Sometimes I just need to be, so that I could come out the other end unscathed. But with spirituality, it just seems like I was just trying to control what came into my life versus just being okay with what came into my life. And now that now that I have accepted that, I feel much lighter. I feel like it's paradoxical. Is that the word? Like, now that I came to terms with the fact that most things are not in our control as humans. I would even go as far as to say all things are outside of our control. And that's not bad, you know? It makes me appreciative of the things that do come into my life that are beautiful and great and lovely. And the things that do come into my life, I'm not blaming myself. I'm not saying, oh my God, you shouldn't, whatever. You shouldn't do this. And oh my God, if you would have done that. And, just beating myself up. For some people that are very like that's the word, like productive driven, like driven by productivity. People that are driven by productivity, that might just sound like laziness to you. That might just sound like, okay, then you're not taking accountability for anything. If you think everything's outside of my control, you're not taking accountability for things. No, I think that acceptance allows for you to kind of wade through the things that are just, I think acceptance of what is can really allow for you to kind of hone in. I think that's the word, hone in on the things that matter. Like on the things that you want to cultivate, not control, just cultivate, curate in a way. I said we don't have control, but as far as like how I want my room to look, how I want my space to feel, how I want my room to look like, what art I want to put up, what things I want to create. Those things are inside of my control, but I also understand that something dramatic could happen and all of that control can be taken away. So while I'm doing them, it's not like I want to control, like I'm not trying to control anything. It's hard to explain. I'm just doing it because I enjoy doing it. And it's what I want to do. It's what I will be doing in my life. Like, I'm not trying to become this person that looks like this or, I don't know. I feel like the self-help, self-growth, or the spirituality realm of self-help sometimes can look very superficial. I used that word already. I don't like to use, okay. It can, for me, it just became something that was there, like my perfectionist side of myself, like the perfectionist in me felt like I had to do something, like I got to do it this way, I got to do this, and then I got to do that. I was trying to find like some type of quick fix to healing, which there's no quick fix. That felt, in a way, it felt easy to do the spirituality that way. But now that I'm more so, and even when I was doing spiritual, like the spiritual new age spirituality, I was in therapy, so I wasn't too yeah, I was still connected with therapy. And I think a lot of people that are spiritual doesn't necessarily mean they won't be in therapy and things like that, or they don't believe in therapy or anything like that. I just think that the spirituality was muddling what I was learning in therapy. Now, my mindfulness practices and the me learning about Buddhist philosophy and Buddhist practices, it's fits better with my therapy for me. I don't know. It just fits better, and there's no room for toxic shame or guilting myself into being a better person. I'm going to be a better person because I am accepting of the way that I am now, and I'm taking the time to be with me the way that I am right now. I'm not fighting myself. And I feel like with spirituality, I was fighting myself with all of these tools: burn my incense, manifestation, scripting. Now I gotta do this and do that and do that. Like, I don't feel comfortable calling myself a Buddhist because I don't follow it. Like, I don't practice it enough. I haven't been to a monastery yet. I haven't done the things. I still feel like I'm still stuck on like the tools of things. Like, I gotta do something in order to identify as something. But yeah. Anyways, I got sidetracked. What was I saying? Yeah, for Buddhist teachings, I don't think there's room for people to feel like, oh, well, you gotta do this in order to be this way. Or people that do this, they're asleep and they're, oh my God, they're sheep and like, there's no room for that type of judgy behavior. And within the new age spirituality is a lot of room for judging of others to start to come up. And you know, we are humans. We judge for like perseverance reasons. That the word. Yeah, which, sure, we need to survive, and we do need to judge sometimes in order to survive. But really questioning whether or not why you're judging something, I feel like Buddhist teachings kind of allow for you to really stop and process thoughts, not as like your own, but like just to observe your thoughts as a passive observer. And yeah, just to be able to look at your thoughts as an observer, which I really do think is needed in a world where you're bombarded by ideals. Is that the word? Yeah, we're bombarded by other people's ideas, other people's moral compasses, and other people's rules and regulations, which I found myself following other people's beliefs and systems and just taking it as law, which, no, I don't have to do something just because you do it or you think it's the right way to do it. I trust in myself that I'm not going to do something that harms another person. And if I unintentionally do, I'm going to have enough humility to be apologetic and take accountability for it. I don't know. Like, I don't come on the internet and claim to know things, or claim to be someone that harbors universal secrets or universal secrets. Yeah, I think universal secrets. Yeah, I don't claim to hold the secrets of the universe, and any belief system that claims to know things that have not been backed by any evidence, I don't know. Like, Buddhist teachings allow for people that are skeptical to be skeptical and still gain something from Buddhist principles. I was able to cultivate, for lack of better words, cultivate a mind that's able to be uncomfortable without beating myself up about it. So I'm gonna go with what I was about to say feels right, but there's a lot of times where I want to escape. I want to not be in my mind, and I do. I fall into just watching YouTube videos a bunch, and you know, it's not going to be perfect. So there's times where I do give in and I escape from self with stuff, which is easy to do because of the technology that we have in our hands. But I lost what I was saying. I don't know. I just wanted to share that because I really want to be radically honest on this channel. I really want it to just be a video diary of sorts, and just speak to the people who might feel the same way, who might feel lost and are slowly finding themselves, or slowly finding themselves. I will say that. I tend to get afraid that I'm just in phases, which I've come to realize, you know, we go through phases, and anything that leaves or anything that I abandon, if it's meant to be in my life, it'll come back. And if it isn't, I was supposed to abandon it and move on. So I'm not, I'm not married to any belief or any ideas. I'm open to being wrong, or I'm open to something else coming along and being and resonating more. So yeah, I will say that spirituality did teach me to some sort of open-mindedness. It did teach me some type of open-mindedness. Anyways, it's just a little rambly, ranty, you know, video about where my mind is right now, or where my thoughts are right now. I'm just doing life, you know, just doing life. Yeah. If you gained anything from this video, please consider subscribing, because that would be nice if you would do that, to join this space of just talking about shit together. And yeah, I used to say, if you like me, like what I used to say, if you like this video, but if you like me, stick around. But I feel like even if you didn't like me, I think hatred, like an extreme dislike for someone, is enough reason to keep up with them. Like, why don't you like them? Why don't you not like them? You know, that was a double negative. I don't give a fuck. Why don't you not like them? You know. So I even explore your hatred of me by subscribing to the channel and liking it. Well, maybe not liking the video, but by subscribing to the channel and keeping up with me. Explore the hatred you have of me, or you have for me. And you might learn something about you. Anyways, let me go. I got stuff to do. All right. Catch you all in the next one. Bye.